Yes, absolutely. Before using Zoho, we were on disparate solutions. Inventory was run in Zoho, inventory off and off, not properly. And finance was run in Pastel. So there was always a disconnect between inventory and the general ledger. And since our business at that time was cash only, there wasn't too much in the way of customer accounts or vendor and supplier payments integrating. So implementing Zoho Finance was a big step forward. And our goal initially with the switchover was simply to get a solid, reliable transaction processing platform in place. What we did was we imported inventory from a previous instance of Zoho, and we brought in all those customers and suppliers from our previous GL solution. That was an interesting exercise because obviously doing that you have to do it with a physical count of inventory, and then we also at the time had about 7 or 8 warehouses. So it's was quite a big task, but after take-on, things started taking shape. So we decided to only implement books and inventory as a first step in our Zoho journey. Before, in the old implementation of Zoho, they were doing quotations in CRM, and they were managing customers in CRM as well. We continued having customer interaction management in CRM, but we migrated everything financial from estimate to sales order and invoice, and then finally package and receipt into books. And that has proven a very good decision because now we can go to one place to see what has happened on a particular customer's account, on a particular stock item, or on a particular department. The biggest challenge was inventory. We didn't have a good view of our inventory because it wasn't integrated. So I think you need to understand a bit about our company history. Around the time that we started the redeployment of Zoho, the company was first a small private company, and it was acquired by the Reunert Group, which is a JSE listed entity. Now, the rules and regulations of the JSE and any listed entity, and Big 5 audit firm audit, external audits, etc., requires a lot more diligence in your financial systems. And we had vast fluctuations of inventory on counts back to inventory in the old system, and that was the biggest red flag raised by external and internal company audits. And that's when they approached me to come and help with the Zoho. It was during COVID, and I own a business that couldn't operate during COVID. I come out of a very long IT history, and the CEO is a very good friend of mine, and he asked me to come in. So in our implementation, as I said before, inventory was the primary goal. And we managed to get that inventory situation sorted out probably within the first 2 quarters of implementing books in inventory as an integrated unit. Because from that point forward, anything that was built had to be bundled in inventory before it could get sold in books. Well, using books and inventory, we're a manufacturing entity, And as you will know, Zoho is not specifically built for manufacturing. There are very few solutions out there specifically built for manufacturing, and the ones that aren't handles it in various degrees of success. So we utilized composite items within inventory to set up a multi-level bill of material in which we can actually track our inventory from raw material to work in progress and finally finished goods, which is not quite part of what Zoho Inventory thought they could do, but they can. So I would say that was a big success. Well, first, understand your needs. That is the first point. I would say do your due diligence. Make a list of all the features that you need in your new solution, and then go and sit with someone very knowledgeable on Zoho, the components that you're considering and the components that you are not considering, and share with them your feature list that you need in your business. And then you can make a tick list and say, okay, these things are there. These things we're going to have to work around. And these things we are going to have to develop. And if you see the ones that needs development outweighs the others, you have to think seriously about your choices. Having had a journey of 3+ years on Zoho now, and seeing the rate of growth in Zoho over the 3 years that I've been involved, the 5 years that Lenovo has been on Zoho, I can say that a lot of those things that you're wishing for will be there in the future. So I think if it's not there now, still consider Zoho, but make sure that the ones that you absolutely need is there before you move. Yes, I think if you ask Michelle, our finance manager, and Gareth, our CFO, who are also here, they will be way more enthusiastic than me. But yes, because there are a number of things like the value-added tax and especially your integration with our tax authority, that will make life a lot easier for us. Well, we are the enterprise support client, so we work very closely with our enterprise support manager in India, and they have helped us out a lot. We in finance, we've had customizations that we did locally. For example, Zoho is a FIFO solution, and we need to account on our inventory at any point in time at average cost. So we've had a custom solution built, a little mechanism that averages out the cost of an item, and we can see our valuations at average cost at any point in time, which makes it much easier for us, because it's very hard to go and look at what your cost is in a FIFO scenario. That's one. We are glad to be on the beta program with the widgets that they're building for MRP, and we are already using it in picking and in enumerating your list of items in customized composite items. In finance, we are working with the team right now to make our planning solution that we have in the house work much easier. So I think over time, as MRP comes into being, we'll certainly be one of the first users.